Good morning, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Joanne Toronto.
And I'm Tom Matthews, and today we are talking about home preparation tips for getting your home ready for going on the market. And today we want to talk about home preparation tips on a budget. What is the most cost-effective way that we have seen in our 20 years to get your home ready for the market? So Joanne, you want to kick us off?
So there's definitely a spectrum of how you can prepare your property for sale. I mean, there are companies you can hire to come in and really do a lot of work, or there's the other end of the spectrum where you can roll up your sleeves and do a little bit of the work yourself. And when we make recommendations for people in preparing their homes for sale, oftentimes it's a do as much or as little as you want, and then we'll price accordingly.
Right.
So the number one thing that we like to impress upon people that they can do on their own, or they can hire somebody to do, is the use of paint. So paint is the best bang for your buck when you are preparing your home for a sale. And a fresh coat of paint can do a lot of things. Number one, it can update the look of a space. It can make your house look less lived in. You know, we all have various things that end up on the walls, the corners that end up chipped, baseboards that are in bad shape. Painting is important. And one thing that I would say is don't forget to paint the ceiling.
Right.
Because once you paint the walls and the trim, you're going to realize that you really should have painted the ceiling first.
Yeah.
So when you're choosing paint, you can go to your local Home Depot, you can go to Lowe's, you can go to a Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams store. You know, paint itself is fairly inexpensive, although a gallon of paint is like $50.
Yeah.
But this is something that you can do yourself. And we love to empower people to feel like they can do these things themselves. Because if you just set the right expectation for yourself and make it so that it's not a stressful experience, painting a room can be fun. Do it with a friend, do it with your spouse, do it with your kids.
Yeah.
Getting a paintbrush in your hand and taking care of painting a bathroom is not like a full week project. It's like a half a day to paint a bathroom.
Right.
So, and typically if you're painting the same color as what you had, you only have to do one coat. If you're changing the color, you got to do two coats, and that's a little bit more. But if you're keeping the color, you can do one coat. You also have the opportunity, if you don't have the paint anymore, to just take a little sliver of the paint off the wall and bring it down to your paint store. I would recommend, if you're paint matching, doing it at a paint store as opposed to like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, because the technology that they use to match paint color is much different.
Right.
But I found that that's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of good outcomes myself and with clients of people matching paint colors and then just throwing up a simple coat. You don't have to get crazy with it. Sometimes you don't even need to cut in if you just touching up.
Right. I mean, another effective place where you can paint is on your cabinets. You know, if in your marketplace, you're seeing a lot of people having white cabinets and you have oak, painting the cabinets can be a great way to do that. Typically when you go into paint cabinets, I probably would hire a professional for that.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little bit more involved, depending upon whether you need to use oils or latex and whatnot. But it's another very ineffective, because if you look at a kitchen, say new cabinets cost, $35,000, $40,000, and you can paint them for 7 to 10. That's still significantly less and can make your kitchen with some new hardware look brand new. And if you're looking for ways to maximize the return on your investment of your house, it's not that the oak cabinets aren't great. It's just that the trend has shifted. And so if you want to kind of lean into the trends, that's where that becomes very important. Now, as we talk about home preparation, some people just say, I just want to declutter and get my house on the market. And that's totally fine. It's all about the experience that you, as the home seller, want to have. So when we talk about decluttering, one of the biggest things we're talking about is that when people walk in, we want their eye to be focused solely on the house and not on the personal property. Because what oftentimes happens is that people are just so busy. They're busy with work, they're busy with kids, they're busy with life, that they are distracted easily. And so if you have a lot of clutter in the house, they can get distracted and they can't necessarily focus on your home. That's really like where decluttering comes in, right, Joanne?
Yeah. And again, you can hire a company. We have recommendations of people you can work with to help you declutter or prioritize your belongings. But sometimes people do something as simple as getting a dumpster, putting it in their driveway, and then just working on it over the course of several weeks, you know, one room at a time, and just getting rid of the things that no longer serve them. There are also great places in the area. I know before the holidays, I typically make a trip over to Framingham to the Savers. It's great. You drive right up. You can donate things. They resell them, and the profits go to a charity. For that particular one, it's the Epilepsy Foundation. We also have an Acton Household Goods Recycling Center, which is a great place that you can drop
Right.
off furniture and housewares that they then repurpose for people in need. So there are a lot of resources in the Metro West communities for you to declutter. And then there are also, you know, textile bins, like at the Thoreau School here in Concord. There's a textile bin. You can put, you know, old sheets, blankets, all kinds of stuff in there, and then that's then recycled rather than donated. So if you have things that are not in great shape, maybe that's a better option. And then of course the dumpster option. So when you're decluttering, take it one room at a time, you know, set the time out for it. Everything that you have to do preparing your house for a sale really is better when you do it and you're not rushed. And that's typically why people contact us kind of on the latter part of the year so that they can be ready 6 months later to go on the market. Because if you call us and you want to be on the market in 2 weeks, you're probably going to have quite a bit of work to do unless you've already done a lot of this ahead of time. So our recommendation is declutter, take your time with it. Things that you're not going to use, you know, you could rent a storage area in your local community and then just move a bunch of things there. You can utilize your attic, your basement, your garage, your shed, and just moving things around so that the space is nice and clean and clear and open.
Right. No, this is great. This is great
Yeah.
kind of budget, how to prepare your home on a budget. And,
Yep.
you know, I want to thank people for watching another different edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne.
I'm Joanne Toronto.
And I'm Tom Matthews. And please smash that subscribe button and join us for more videos. Cheers.